Thank you so much for joining us. Again, my name is Mari Carmen Heroles. I am with Communication Services, and I'm very glad that we were able to have this for you for the middle school level. If you have any questions, you can type them really at any point in the Q&A that you can find at the bottom of your screen. It's the icon with the 2 speech bubbles, and our panelists will answer those questions after our brief presentation. Just a reminder that we have our help available. We're going to have somebody walk you through the application, but just to let you know that you can call 972-925-5560. You can call them really right now. We have the hotline going, but you can also reach them Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5 p.m. And if you need help in person, you can always go to one of our centralized enrollment locations or one centers, and you can find those locations to find the one nearest you at dallasisd.org/one. And now we'll have Jennifer Murillo, who will walk us through the application process.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Jennifer Murillo. I am one of the enrollment coordinators with the Office of Centralized Enrollment. So right now, during this busy season, we do offer assistance to families with completing that application online. We will kind of have a brief walkthrough of what that application looks like, just so you can familiarize yourself with that process. To access the application, you will go to dallasisd.org/discover. You can change the language on this page to Spanish if needed. One tool I do want to emphasize before we begin is our School Finder tool. So if you do select this option here on the left, it will take you to where you can explore the different options available to you within Dallas ISD. The option on the left will show you your zone school based on your address. If you're new to the district, or if you're in a transition grade level going into middle school next year, you can also use this tool to explore the different options available to you. So you'll select the student's grade level, the address where you're currently residing, and what programs you're interested in. If you're interested in STEM, fine arts academies or vanguards, talented and gifted schools, and this tool will allow you to narrow down the options available to you so you can select them within the application. Once you have your list of schools that you're interested in, go ahead and come back to this page and click the Choose Dallas ISD application. You will be asked to sign in or create an account if you do not already have one. This is the same portal that we used for applications last year, as well as the registration for the current school year. If your student is a current Dallas ISD student, then you most likely already have an account here, so you can simply log in to begin that process. Once you log in, there are a couple of features that we do want to take into account. First and foremost is that your dashboard is set to the correct school year. In the upper right-hand corner, because we are also still accepting registrations for the 2022-2023 school year, just make sure this is set to next year, 2023-2024. We also want to make sure that the student, if the student is already connected to your account. I know these Let's Begin buttons are very tempting. They're the first thing you see, but just scroll all the way down to the bottom just to verify if the student is already connected. If they are, you can click on their tab that says the student's name and application, and then start a new application. If they are not connected to your account already, then you will scroll up to the middle and click on the Let's Begin application button. This will ask you for the student's information, if they're currently enrolled in a Dallas ISD school or if they have attended in the past. If they are or they have, then you will be asked to provide the student's ID number, their first and last name, and their birthday, and that will allow you to connect the student to your account. I already have a sample student, so we'll go back to that just so I can show you what that application actually looks like once you have passed that part. Once you are in the application, you will see the application progress on the left-hand side, the different pages that you will need to complete in order to complete the application. The probably most important one here is page number 4, the selected schools page. And this will show you the student's zone school based on your address. And if you scroll a little further down, you'll see this map. This will also help you visualize the schools that are available to you within Dallas ISD. If you zoom in, the green icon is going to be your home school. Do kind of take into account what your zone school is. For example, this address zones to Alex W. Spence. So while it is your home school, they also have, if you click on choose, they also have a magnet program. Therefore, if you're wanting your student to attend the magnet program, you do have to select that option on this application. And we do have a few schools that are schools within a school that would fall into the same category, like Griner or OW Homes. So just kind of take that into account. You do have the opportunity to select up to 5 schools within this application with a limit of 2 magnet schools, and it is detailed here. If you're unsure as to what the school is that you are selecting, it will tell you once you click on the drop down for the program. So the system will automatically limit you if you already have two magnet schools selected, or if you select all 5 of your options within this application. When you have those programs selected, the next page will be the rank school options. This page is very important because students will only receive one offer based on the ranking of these schools. They default automatically to alphabetical order, and you can simply drag and drop the schools to your preferred preference. So however you want to organize these selections, just make sure that is finalized by January 31st. You can, once you submit your application, make edits to the selected schools as well as this ranking until the application deadline, which again is January 31st. And you will be going through this application, filling out all of the required questions that are in red asterisk. If you do have a sibling that's currently attending a magnet school or a school that you're selecting on your application, or if you have a sibling that is also applying to those same schools, it is important that you list them here on your application. But it is equally important, if not more so, that you have a unique application for that sibling as well, so they can be linked properly throughout the application process. Depending on the schools that you select on your application, it will also give you specific pages that are for those programs only. For example, if the student, if you apply for a magnet school, then you will have the required documents for magnet programs where you will need to upload those required documents. If the student is a current Dallas ISD student and you need help obtaining the student's report card or STAR scores or MAP scores, you can contact the school, but you can also contact our office and we can assist you with obtaining those documents as well. Again, you'll just go through all of these pages, making sure that you upload all of the information that is required of you. The second to last page is going to be the review page. If I can just get there real quick. That is going to be the final opportunity for you to review the answers that you have submitted within the application, as well as making edits to those responses if you find an error. Once you submit the application, you will receive a confirmation page, which I will show you in just a few seconds. You will also receive a confirmation email. So it is very important that we have your information up to date in this system because that is primarily how these schools will be communicating and how you will be receiving those updates. So this is the review and send page where you can review those responses. And then once you submit the application, you will see that confirmation page. Once on your dashboard, you can also see that you can make edits to that application. The schools that you have selected will be showing here in processing as soon as you submit. You can make changes to the ranking order here on this dashboard as well. But if you want to change the schools that you selected, you will click the edit button and then go back to the selected schools page. Again, you have until January 31st to finalize those edits if needed. But that is all for me. Thank you, Mari Carmen.
Thank you, Jennifer. As always, very useful to go through the through the application. Again, just to remind you, we have more information and the actual application at dallasisd.org/discover. And we have help for you today till 2 p.m. at 972-925-5560. If you're already ready to start your application and you run into any issues, our folks answering those phones can walk you through any problems you might encounter. And so next up, we have our transfers and neighborhood programs. The transfers are part of the process in this application. So it's part of the 5 schools that you get to choose. So we have Jorge Flores to walk us through this process.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mari Carmen. And thank you to my colleague, Jennifer. My name is Jorge Flores. I'm a student transfer coordinator and part of the great and awesome enrollment team. But as Jennifer just mentioned to you and showed you how to apply, but also how to use that great tool that we have in our district, the School Finder tool, because that can show you what your assigned school is for your student. Because every Dallas ISD student in grades K to 12 has an automatic seat at their zone school. But if you're interested in any other program available at that zone school or in any other choice school program that you might be interested in, you can use the system to apply to that school. And you can use the system to apply to another neighborhood school by submitting a student transfer. Now, for transfers, the decisions to go ahead and be able to accept and approve your request is mainly by available space for the grade level that you're applying to. Sometimes the schools will also look at the grades and other records for the student, but it will be primarily based on space availability. And once you get that approval, say you get the approval in kindergarten, you can remain up to the highest grade level at that school without having to reapply, and you'll just keep rolling over every year to go ahead and keep re-enrolling back at that school. One thing to keep in mind too is that you can also still stay at that transfer school, but if you're interested in another program, you can apply to it as well. One thing that's a little bit different than the other programs is for transfers, keeping in mind that there is no transportation provided for those students. So keep that in mind as you're choosing your transfer school. And some of the great programs that are available at your neighborhood programs, say you want your child to learn, think, read, and write in 2 languages, well, then dual language program is something that's going to be great for them. If you want your child to be understanding of the world, to get a more respect of the world, and perhaps become a world leader, then the IB program is something that would be available for your student. And you're hearing a little bit about also our innovation schools, which are great neighborhood programs, great neighborhood schools that have some great instructional models on their campuses. And if you're zoned for that school, that is automatically your school. If you're wanting to attend that school, you can apply for a transfer as well. Thank you, Mari Carmen.
Thank you, Jorge. And a quick question. Can you do a transfer in the middle of a grade level? For example, I apply and go to a school for 6th grade, but, my kid's doesn't like it, or that's not really the program that they like. Can I apply for a transfer to another school, like in the middle of the grade level, or for the next grade next year?
Absolutely. While transfers requests are available during the time of November 1st to January 31st, they're also very unique in the sense that they're open throughout the school year. So if you're wanting to, for whatever situation you wanting to apply to another neighborhood school, you can apply for a transfer throughout the whole school year. So yes, absolutely, Mari Carmen, really great point. You can always apply for a transfer. And obviously, if the school that you're applying to has to have that available space in order for them to accommodate that transfer request. Great question. Thank you.
Thank you, Jorge. That was very helpful. And it is a feature that a lot of families take advantage of. For example, not because your neighborhood school isn't a great school, but perhaps because it's closer to where you work, and that makes it easier. So you want your kid to go to a different school that, for other circumstances. So that's something that's definitely. And Jorge, who approves the transfers? Is it the receiving school or both schools? How does that work?
That's a great question. The person who approves the transfers or the school is the one that you're applying to. So that's where you have to get that permission. And it's mainly the principal who knows how many spaces available. Obviously, they have their CRCs or registers to assist them, but that's who approves the transfers, the school that you're applying to.
Great, thank you so much. And up next, we have our school choice advisor program. This is something that's available for our middle schools. And I'm not sure who's going to talk about this, but please feel free to jump in.
Good morning. My name is Nancy Rubio, and I'm the magnet coordinator within the Centralized Enrollment Center. I'm here to talk to you this morning about a great program Dallas ISD offers, which is our School Choice Advisor program. This program aims to provide support for students who are underrepresented within our choice programs. So we are targeting incoming 6th and 9th graders in the following feeder patterns, which are Adamson, Carter, Conrad, Lincoln, Madison, Pinkston, Roosevelt, and South Oak Cliff. This program is available to eligible African American students and English language learners as well. Next slide, please. We have a great group of school choice advisors, which is made up of counselors and also teachers, Dallas ISD teachers. They will assist students finding the best fit schools, gather information and documents, complete the application process, meet deadlines, prepare for the interview and testing process at our choice programs. They will also assist students with accepting offers and then enrolling in the school. So I do want to stress that this program is not limited to students who want to apply to magnet schools. It's for students who want to apply to any choice program. So if your student is interested in a P-TECH program, a transformation program, please reach out to us. We have a form at our on our Dallas ISD website, which is dallasisd.org/magnet. You will see a student interest form, and we encourage you, if your family needs assistance with any of these things, please fill out the form, and we will do our best to place your student with an advisor. This also is not limited to those feeder patterns. If you need assistance, please fill out the form and we will assist your student. Thank you, Mari Carmen.
Thank you, Nancy. That's always very helpful. And it is a program that has had we've had it for about 3 years now, and it has been really helpful. So if this is, because, the whole choosing a school, choosing the right school, can be an overwhelming process. And sometimes it's good to have somebody who can guide you and who can guide you through the process and the application and turning in all the documents that are needed, or even like talk to you about what you need to do to put you in a better place to apply to the school that you want to attend. So this really is a great program, and we encourage you to take advantage of it. Next, we have our magnet programs. I don't know if I think Mayra is presenting.
Hi, good morning, Mari Carmen. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mayra Andrade. I work with the Centralized Enrollment and Magnet Programs Department with Dallas ISD. And today I want to speak to you a little bit about our magnet programs. So our magnet schools are theme-oriented courses of study that provide students with in-depth experiences in specific areas of interest, such as STEM, fine arts, Montessori, TAG, multiple careers, and leadership. Now, what makes magnet schools different is that magnet schools do have a selective admissions criteria, but have traditionally served underrepresented populations with specific focus on ethnic diversity. Next slide, please. Again, what makes magnet programs a little bit different is that applicants must meet a specific GPA and norm reference test score in order to be eligible for that program. If you are applying to a TAG school, a student must meet a GPA of 80 or above, and 75 or above for all other programs. They must meet a minimum STAR or MAP or any other norm reference test score. For TAG programs, it is a 70th percentile or above, and 40th percentile for all other programs. Now, something to know is that this year, minimum requirements for STAR to be eligible, they do range in between 38th percentile through 55th percentile. It just depends on the grade that you are applying to. Next slide. Now, the magnet selection process involves a specific formula. 30% of the seats are awarded to district-wide students by rank ordering of applicants based on their overall assessment score. 70% of the seats will be awarded within the comprehensive high school feeder patterns by rank ordering the applicants based on their overall criteria score. For our middle school programs, they do have a sibling preference rule. So if an applicant has a sibling that currently attends that middle school and will continue that assisting that middle school next year, they will receive 5 additional points to their overall criteria score. Out-of-district applicants, qualified in-district applicants are placed before any out-of-district applicants. So we do encourage everyone to apply. Just make note that all in-district applicants that are qualified will be placed first. Now, here's a list of some of our magnet programs that do have a range in grade levels. We do have a middle school program that starts at pre-K, but runs all the way through 8th grade, which is our Montessori programs at Dealey and Harry Stone. We have 2 TAG programs that do begin at the elementary level. Mark Twain, which starts at kinder and runs through 7th grade. They will be adding an additional grade next year. And Trinity Heights runs from 1st grade through 8th grade. We have several talented and gifted schools that run from 4th grade through 8th grade. That's JP Starks, School for the Talented and Gifted in Pleasant Grove, Sudi Williams, and Travis, William B. Travis. We do have KB Polk, which offers a TAG, but also a fine arts program. And then Jesus Morales, which is another fine arts or expressive arts program. We have 6 middle school programs, which offers actual middle school grades, 6th through 8th grade. Griner Exploratory Arts, Dallas Environmental Science, Alex Spence, John Lewis Social Justice Academy at Holmes, Bedford Law Academy, which is formerly Atwell, and Longfellow Career Exploration Academy. We do have 2 single gender programs that run from middle school grades all the way to high school, 6th through 12th grades. And that's Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy and Irma Rangel Young Women's Leadership Academy. So if any of these schools do interest you, we do encourage you to apply on choose.dallasisd.org. If you need any further information as far as magnet requirements, open house dates for any of these campuses, please log on to dallasisd.org/magnet. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayra. That was super helpful. And we already have some magnet questions for once the presentation is done. So we'll be sending those to you. Next, we have our Office of Transformation and Innovation, and they also have a number of fantastic programs. So I'm not sure who's presenting for them, but please jump in. Ryan, are you?
Sorry, Mary Corwin. I was saying she was correct about the great options we do have in our department. And good morning, everyone. My name is Ryan Hatch, and I'm in the Office of Transformation and Innovation. Our goal is to provide best fit schools for Dallas ISD families. Our transformation schools are open. Our open enrollment campuses are designed an innovative instruction model. There are no academic entry requirements, and transportation is offered to students living within district boundaries. Online applications to transformation schools are accepted annually from November through January. Students are selected through a lottery. Offers are generated based on the number of seats available in each grade level, the student's priority group, and the randomly assigned lottery number. Research shows socioeconomically diverse schools offer better learning environments for all students, no matter their background. The Office of Transformation and Innovation has adopted this approach for several of its transformation schools. For designated 50-50 socioeconomic diversity schools, students are entered into the economic disadvantaged lottery group or the non-economic disadvantaged lottery group based on the student's economic status. Next slide, please. Now, let's look at our middle school transformation options. The box underneath each logo or the range of the grade levels that will be offered at the campuses for the fall of 2024. Families have two Montessori options in Eduardo Mata Montessori or Montessori Academy at Hernandez. Haynes Global Preparatory is our international baccalaureate candidate campus located at Paul Quinn College. Our STEM models include D.A. Holsey and West Dallas STEM. Moving on to our personalized learning options, which put students in the driver's seat of their own learning. Students at Ignite are self-directed learners who choose what, how, when, and where they learn. We have a personalized learning pathway that allows students to start at the elementary level and continue their personalized journey in secondary by attending Ignite Middle School and Ideal High School. Dr. Martin Luther King Arts Academy Exploratory Arts creates an exciting atmosphere where students are encouraged to express their creativity at each grade level. Other models like single gender, virtual, and hybrid are also choices offered through our transformation schools. Next slide. We also have innovative choices at our neighborhood campuses. Innovation schools are neighborhood schools that are offered a redesigned curriculum while maintaining their current identity. Many of our campuses offer personalized learning, STEAM, and international baccalaureate models. Students who live outside the student's attendance zone can attend if space is available. Next slide. And here's a quick overview of our innovation opportunities for middle school. We currently have 8 models, which includes personalized learning, project-based learning, STEM, visual and performing arts, single gender, IB, career exploration, and lastly, international leadership. Our team is happy to help you and your student find the best fit school that meets their needs, interests, and aspiration. And now back to our host. Thank you, Mary Corman.
Yeah, thank you. This is really helpful. So, it's when we say we have more than 100 specialized programs in schools, we are not exaggerating. We have a lot of choices for your students. And just as a reminder, our neighborhood schools also offer programs and they're great. So that's always an option. We just want to highlight some other options here in case you are interested in finding something more specific for your student. So that's why we're here, to present these options and to answer your questions. Next, we want to remind you about our hotline that is available today, our phone bank. If you've already started your application and you have a question or you've encountered a problem, we are here to walk you through it. Just call 972-925-5560 and we'll be happy to help you with that. And just as a reminder for questions, if you do have a question, please click on the Q&A icon that's at the bottom of your screen. It's the icon with the 2 speech bubbles, and type in your question there. We're answering them on there on the Q&A, and we'll also read them out loud to get you an answer. Either way, we'll get through those today. Next, we have our dual language program, and that is available in middle school. So to tell us about that, we have
Marisol Urquizo. Good morning, buenos días. My name is Marisol Urquizo. I have the pleasure to work for the dual language program in the dual language ESL department. And today I'm here to talk to you about our dual language program in middle schools. We offer the dual language program for 6th grade through 8th grade. And through our program, we offer the opportunity to learn how to speak, write, read, listen, and think in 2 languages, in this case, English and Spanish. Something important here is that we need that the students that are coming to our program in middle school, they already having in the dual language program, or they have a strong background in Spanish, because during this program we have academic Spanish courses. Another of the advantages is the strengthens thinking and problem-solving skills, because our students are constantly working in 2 languages, in 2 words, English and Spanish. And also increases global awareness and cultural diversity, something really important for our global society, as you are aware. Next, please, Mari Carmen. Okay. At this moment, we have our dual language program in middle school and 8 middle schools. One is Hodgkins Elementary, Yale Long Middle School, Pittman Global Academy, Rosemont Upper, Alex Sanger Preparatory School, a school for the talent and gifted in Pleasant Grove. And here is something really important. The STAG in Pleasant Grove is the #1 middle school for the whole district in Dallas ISD, and we are offering dual language program. E.D. Walker Middle School and Walnut Hill Middle School. In our dual language program, we offer 2 courses 100% in Spanish. One of them is the Spanish Load, but it's academic Spanish, and the other one is a content course in Spanish. The remainder of the courses are 100% in English each year. Next slide, please. And here we are giving you our information that you can contact us if you have any question, you need any more information. That is our website, our email address, bilingualesl@dallasisd.org, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Please feel free to contact us if you have any question, and we invite you to join our dual language program. Thank you, Mari Carmen.
Thank you, Marisol. And it is a great program. It is a program that has been duplicated in other districts because we have been so successful. There are some schools that have been doing it for years and years and years, and we've seen the difference that it has made in our students. So it's definitely something that would be great for you to consider. The world is just becoming smaller and smaller, so speaking, being fluent in another language is helpful. It has certainly been helpful for me, so I highly recommend it. And next we have the school choice advisors. We just went through those really quickly because it's such a great program that we had it on there twice. But if you have questions about that, and I did see one in the Q&A, we'll definitely get to those. Now we have our special education. We don't normally have this, have had this in the past, but we get a lot of questions about special education and what services are available in some of these choice schools. So we thought we would bring you that additional information for these sessions. And we have Jennifer, are you going to be presenting?
Yes, I'm going to be presenting this morning. Good morning. My name is Jennifer Landry. I am one of the directors in our special education department. I wanted to let you know that DISD does offer a continuum of services across the district. Inclusion services are offered at all campuses. That does include speech therapy services, occupational therapy, physical therapy, and other related services. But not all of our specialized programs are at every campus. If you do need more information, you can contact the campus of interest for more information on the availability of the specialized programs, or you can reach out to the special education department as well. Next slide, please. Oh. We don't have the dyslexia slide, but we do also offer dyslexia services at all of our campuses as well.
Thank you so much. Not sure what happened to that dyslexia slide, but Yes, we do have those services. And now we've been answering some of the questions in the Q&A, but we also have some that we're going to read out loud and get you answers from the experts. So thank you for submitting the questions. Our first one is, this person happens to be a district employee, and their child has been in the district for 3 years, don't live in the district, but was wondering about transportation options for students who apply from out of the district. If, for example, you can drop the kid off at one of the pickups places for a school, a magnet or a choice school, if that is something that is a possibility, because transportation, as we know, is sometimes a deciding factor for this. Jonica, I don't know if that's something you can address, maybe. And if we can't address it now, we will definitely get you an answer. Thank you for submitting the question. We will get back to you on this. So this person wants to enroll all 3 siblings in the same school. How can they have all 3 go to the same school versus going to 3 different schools? 2 of them are twins and 1 is a year older. I know that there's sibling rules for magnets. How does that work for magnets and also for some of our other choice schools? Assuming that they're not all in the same grade level, except for the twins.
So for magnet programs, we do have a sibling preference. At 2 of our Montessori programs, if a student has a sibling already enrolled and there are seats available and they meet the eligibility and assessment criteria, they will do their best to place that student at that school. If students are applying to any other elementary or middle school program, we will add points to their application and then place the students accordingly based on how they did on their assessment. We do have other sibling preferences at our other OTI schools. And I think there's somebody here from OTI that can speak on those, on transformation schools, I'm sorry.
Yes, Ryan or Nicole?
Sure. So for our transformation schools, we do have a sibling priority for our transformation schools, but siblings are not guaranteed a seat. And so it's very important when you apply, if you're applying together, that you indicate those students on the application and that every student has their own individual application. The other thing I just want to mention too is that if you are living in Dallas ISD, wherever your home address is, that's your zoned homeschool, and your students would automatically be accepted at your home school.
Right. These are just, these are other options that we have for students, but you're always guaranteed a spot in your home school. Like if you don't get, for some reason, you don't get an invitation to any of the schools that you applied for, that doesn't mean that you won't have a spot. You will always have a spot if you live within Dallas ISD at your neighborhood school. So yes, we're not kicking you out of the district. That is for sure. This person is currently living outside of the district, but they're going to move to Dallas for the 23-24 academic year, but they don't have a confirmed address in Dallas. So how do they go about applying? And is there flexibility in changing the address later? I guess this is more important for magnets because we do prioritize the
right. So currently they can submit an application with their current address. If that does put them as an out of district student, they can update their address with that proof of residence before the January 31st deadline. They would just need to contact the Office of Centralized Enrollment or the school that they're applying to provide that proof of residence before January 31st.
Great, thank you. And how do we find the open houses that are available? I think that's been answered in the Q&A, so there should be a link in the Q&A to find those. But we'll also add it to our Discover page at www.dallasisd.org. .org/discover so that it's a little bit easier to find. So this parent wants to know if their child can apply to a magnet school, even if they don't have siblings in that magnet school. And I think I know the answer, but Jennifer, since you're on, can you tell us, that is possible, right?
Yes, absolutely. It is not a requirement to have siblings or family members at the school currently. So anyone can apply to any of the programs.
And Griner Middle School, Griner is part magnet, I believe, and part neighborhood school. So how do you apply for the magnet, or can you transfer into the non-magnet? How does that work for a school like that?
Well, both. Oh, go ahead, Nancy.
No, go ahead, Myra.
So yes, Griner is what we call a school within a school. It is a neighborhood school. So if you live within that school's boundary lines, your address belongs to that school, you're guaranteed a seat there for their neighborhood program. But as far as the magnet program, an application and students must meet the requirements in order to move forward with the process and be offered a seat. So you can apply for both a neighborhood transfer and the magnet program at Griner.
Okay, thank you. If I'm interested in dual language for my child, who's a current 6th grader, how will that benefit him at this level? Will he be too far behind to start dual language? As I know that those students started dual language programs probably in early elementary. Can jumping into a dual language program in 6th grade be beneficial, Marisol?
Okay, good morning. We recommend, in the middle school, the 2 courses that we are teaching 100% in Spanish are Spanish Load and Academic in one course. Then they need to have a strong base in Spanish because that is academic language. Then we recommend that the students that enter in the middle school, they are coming from a dual language program or they have a very strong foundation in Spanish, because the courses are high level Spanish. Thank you.
So yes, it's. I mean, I guess you can try it, but it's better if you've had the foundation from elementary school. Are there any options for students who struggle academically? Are there any supports for them to get into a choice school? And I guess this would apply maybe more for the transformation schools rather than magnets, because magnets have the great requisites. But Nicole, can you talk a little bit about what kind of supports are available for students who may be struggling academically?
Sure. So for our transformation schools, we don't have any academic entry requirements. We do provide services for students based on their IEP. And so you may have students who receive inclusion or they have resource instruction. And so those supports are provided based on their individual plan.
Okay, great.
And can I add to that? So all of the transformation choice schools do have at least one special education teacher on the campus. And so that special education teacher is going to provide inclusion services or resource services, depending on what the schedule of services says for that student. So it is individualized. We do look at each student's IEP to ensure that it can be implemented at the campus of choice.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for that.
Do you mind if I also add? We have some students in our district that struggles academically who are not necessarily in special education. So every campus also, the teachers are skilled at providing interventions, differentiating instruction to help meet students where they are. So even if a student does not receive special education or Section 504 services, we do make sure that we are providing some academic interventions for those students.
Great. So there is a lot of support, and because you know what, our goal is for all of our students to be successful. So we do have mechanisms in place to catch some of those instances where the student needs additional help and provide that help and support, because we do want them to be successful and graduate with all the skills they will need to be successful in life. And sort of going with this, what can a student do to put themselves in a better position to get in a desired magnet school? Like, what are some of the things that they need to be doing to prepare to be to have a better chance to be accepted? Maida or Nancy?
So for our magnet program, students do take an assessment, which is a piece they take after they have applied. And that assessment could possibly be writing an essay on campus, or having an in-person interview, or taking a math test. So I do suggest that parents reach out to the school and find out what those pieces are. Most of those schools will have some type of guide to assist parents through the process, and it actually lets them know exactly what the student will need to do to get into the program. This even includes our fine arts program. I know that some of our schools have, such as Booker T. Washington has weekend programs to help students with the process of applying. So suggestion would be to reach out to the schools. They can help you in providing you a guide. Students, most schools do take, like I said, an essay. So maybe practicing writing skills, math skills, and interview process skills would help out. But definitely do reach out to those magnet campuses. They are more than happy to assist you with helping you get your student prepared.
Great, thank you. And yes, and don't, grades are really important, but don't forget those soft skills, like being able to interview or being able to, tell their story in an essay. So those are things that you can practice at home without necessarily any academic support. It's just their soft skills, and they're important. Sometimes they're the one thing that makes a difference between being offered a position and not. So those are things that you can definitely practice at home. And we don't have a whole lot of time, so there's just 2 more questions we have. Hopefully we've answered most of your questions in the Q&A. This parent's child will start pre-K next year, and their oldest will be starting 6th grade. Are there any schools that take pre-K to 8th, and how can you ensure that they get in the same school? Or improve your chances of getting in the same school?
Sorry, go ahead, Nicole.
Okay, we do have several transformation schools that offer pre-K through 8th grade. We have MATA, we have Solar Girls, Solar Boys, Martin Luther King Arts Academy, to name a few. And as far as siblings, again, it's important that when you apply to these transformation schools that you include both siblings, and that you do separate applications for these siblings as well. When we do the lottery, students that are siblings receive the first priority in the lottery.
Great, thank you. And our last question, it's, I guess, Jennifer, maybe this is one that you can answer. When you submit the application, does your application go first to your first choice, or goes to all the schools that you submitted?
The application will be reviewed by all the campuses submitted on your application at the same time. The lottery process is then run in February, but the student will only receive one choice depending on their ranking. That is why we emphasize greatly to make sure those schools are listed in the preferred order. For example, I did see a question that mentioned this as well. If the student is accepted to their first choice school, then any school that they selected that is ranked lower will not be available to the student any longer. So it is important that those rankings are perfect at the time of the application deadline on January 31st. If the student is waitlisted for their first choice, they'll still have the opportunity to see the next available offer for them based on that ranking. But anything under that will essentially be withdrawn by the system. So please take that into consideration. That is very important.
Yes, definitely. We cannot emphasize the ranking enough. But thank you so much. We've run out of time, and we're going to get ready for our high school session. Just a reminder that application deadline is January 31st. You can find information about all these programs at dallasisd.org/discover. You can call the phone bank 972-925-5560 during the week. It's from 7:30 to 5. And today, and that's a typo, it should be 2 o'clock, not 1. They're available now. If you're started your application and you run into any issues, you can call. If you have additional questions that we maybe did not get to during the presentation, you can call them. We'll be there until 2 p.m. today. I want to thank all the panelists for taking the time to be here and sharing their expertise, and all the attendees for joining us. I hope this was helpful information, and that you are now ready to fill out those applications, because we want your kids to get the best fit education that we can offer. Thank you so much, and have a fantastic weekend.